So, welcome, Sarah, and thank you. It's great. It's a real pleasure to talk to you about future-proof leadership.
Pleasure.
And yeah, just love to know a bit about, kind of your story. How did you come to the program and what you got from it and what's happened since?
Yeah, no problem. So I am a director of consultancy, and have been for quite a few years. And I guess what brought me to the program was this recognition that the world has changed quite exponentially, and in that I kind of wanted to equip myself to be honest. Okay, well, everything's far more complex, far more rapid. This kind of VUCA environment concept, and I really was thinking, well, how do I, yeah, where's my tool belt? Like, how do I make sure that I'm at the cutting edge of kind of what's going on? So I've been in touch with Holos for a while, and had already been to Holocon a couple of times, and really loved the ethos, the holosophy. And so when I saw future proof facilitation, it just felt like, oh, this is absolutely the right fit. I totally get it. So yeah, just decided to sign up.
Amazing. And then, so you signed up, and what was the journey from kind of sign up? If you take us through until completion, how what was your personal and kind of literal journey as well?
Yeah. I sort of I didn't come in with a very specific, oh, I must kind of do this, although I was really wanting to learn more about post-conventional organizations, and just, I suppose, to give myself a little bit more understanding of what was actually going on in the world. I kind of had a sense of it. I almost wanted the logic to back it up, or the detail. So yeah, signed up. Great process, very supportive. And the group I had was amazing. I have to say, one of the biggest wins of the whole process was the people that I met, and the energy of the group, and the to be honest, just the time with other people that get it, who are battling with the same things that you are, that have got the same kinds of questions, and the kind of freedom of having that, well, how would you think about this? And just, having that opportunity to have those conversations was huge. I think especially in my environment, where you need to have answers or process or tools, or it was the space to go, oh yeah, no, actually, I'm not sure about that. What do you kind of think? Um, what other big things happened? I think for me as well, some of the biggest value was getting feedback. How often do you get the opportunity to have really direct feedback about your facilitation skills? And it was done with integrity and love, and in the best possible way, but also you do want someone to be like, yeah, you could do that better, and think about this, and what about this? So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Amazing. So you feel like you had that confidence to explain the kind of VUCA world and what was happening, but also you've got that sounding board as well, and those real honest and other professionals with other angles to come at it.
Yeah, and sometimes it was just about having the right model to describe or land something that had been in my head for ages. Like, how would I think about that? And then right, oh yes, that model completely helps describe that or explain it, because I think creating clarity and simplicity out of some of this complexity is part of our role right now. So it was really lovely to be able to do that.
Fantastic, fantastic. So how quickly did you apply what you learned?
Oh, as we were going along, I'd finish the day, and the next day, something would pop up, and I'd be like, "Oh, there's an opportunity. We can give that a go." So that was really lovely. And I think that's the thing. The thing that I really loved about the program is it wasn't lots of theory. It was doing it and getting it in the muscle, and being very practical about how it was, which I think is great, because otherwise, other training courses, you can get overloaded with theory, and it all sounds great, but actually, until you've put it in the heat of the moment and experienced what that does or doesn't, then it's you're not going to get anywhere near the amount of value out of it.
Yeah. No, fantastic. So that kind of you're saying immediately in your professional life, what would you say in terms of personal growth? How's the program influenced you there?
Yeah, I think there's an element of confidence in being able to operate in this environment, a recognition of some of how you look after yourself, of how you show up, and how important that is. One of my biggest lessons was switching from sort of doing to being. And I literally have that as a mantra. I've got it on a post-it note. And showing up in the right way has made all the difference, I think. So for me, that was huge. And, personal life as well as professional life, there's been some really big wins there.
Fabulous. So that kind of how I'm being influenced, what I do and how I do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the energy that you're bringing to the table as well. I think some of the best bits of feedback I had were um, almost having more variety or more flexibility in how I'm showing up, and having that bit of feedback of actually when you were a bit sterner, that worked really well there, or when you were a bit more relaxed, then that worked really well there. That was really nice to hear.
Fantastic. And so, having completed the program, it's nearly a kind of year since you started. What's been happening for you? What have you noticed that maybe the program has catalyzed, or kind of how's it still making a difference to you?
How is it still making a difference? I think the relationships that I've got from it have been huge. So having some people that you could literally call up and be like, can I have your help thinking this through, or can we have a discussion about how you would handle this? I think that's been fantastic. And again, that peer group support right now is fantastic. But I just think I think you previously used the words exponential growth. I think you don't almost realize how much you've grown from the things that you've learned on that course, because it just becomes your new normal almost. And it's only when you look backwards and go, oh wow, like I would have been in a really different position back then. So yeah, it's quite hard to put into words, Angela.
And that's the constant challenge, isn't it? But if you
Yeah.
were to say a situation, if you've got an example of a practical situation or something in your life that's come up since the program that you use the tools from, what would you? I don't know if you've got anything there that you can share with us.
Um, I think sometimes I think some of the where it's shown up and made the most difference is probably some of the language that I was introduced to. So being able to help and understand an organization understand this shift from conventional to post-conventional and what it means and how that shows up. And it's not that they're doing something wrong, because I think that's the go-to of, we must be doing something wrong. It's actually just the paradigm's shifted so much. What you've always done brilliantly just isn't fit for purpose anymore. And actually it alleviates some of the I don't know, the guilt or the worry or the shame of that. And I think that's been huge to give clients some reassurance actually that they're in the right hands.
It's amazing. Thank
I don't know
you.
if that answered your question, sorry.
Oh, it's brilliant. No, a really, really good answer. Yeah, thank you. And because, if you think of the impact of that for organizations, for people in organizations, then as you say, it doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
It's supportive in its approach.
And I think, so much of my work is organizations coming in a sense of charged, not quite panic, but in extreme stress, dealing with, we've just come out of a global pandemic. What's next? Politically, things have changed. Globally, things have changed. That there's so much contextual shift, and it's how do you reassure them that there is new ways of doing things, or there is a path through, or actually this is all totally manageable, but it just requires a different approach than perhaps early 2000s consulting allowed you. So
Yeah,
it's I think it's really valuable.
yeah, yeah. And supporting them that shift in terms of their relationships, interactions, and how they're being, going back to your points, with each
Absolutely.
other.
How are they showing up? Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah. It's a pleasure as always to talk, and look forward to speaking again very soon.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.